Okay, this short tutorial is going to teach you how to get started with PyMOL on the protein data banks. The first thing you want to do is get your structures from the data bank. So just open up your browser and type in pdb.org. You go to the data bank, and assuming that you know the accession number, that's the code that goes with the particular structure, you just type that in here right beside search. So we'll just take one of them. This is bovine cytochrome B5. Now, if you want to download this, on the right-hand side, you go to Download Files. That's the drop-down menu. Click on that. And the one you want is PDB file text. So you select that. That will download the structure to wherever your computer puts downloaded files. So you just go to that, and the file is up there. Now you can open it directly, and it should open in PyMOL, or you can just open PyMOL first and then select the file you want to open from that. So here's the screen you'll see. This shows the whole structure in stick form. Water molecules are indicated by these little red crosses. When you want to rotate this, it helps if you have a 3-button mouse or trackball. If you click left and drag, you will rotate. Click right and drag, you will zoom. And click center and drag, and you translate. Now, the structure, it's kind of hard to see what you want. One of the most useful features on PyMOL is the ability to just show the structure in ribbon form with the cofactors present, which is usually what people want to get started with. So you go over to the right-hand side, and what you'll have here is a list of everything you can select. Right now, the only thing you have present is one molecular structure, but you could have multiple ones in here. So if you want to change the view of this, go over to A for Action, click on that, drag down to Preset, and then drag on the further drop-down menu to Publication. And you get a nice picture now of the structure in ribbon form, colored with the amino terminus in blue, the carboxy terminus in red, and this is a nice way of finding out where you are actually in the linear sequence as you go along. And there's the heme group present here as this structure. If you want to select particular residues in here and highlight them and show them, the way you do that, well, there's multiple ways, but the simplest way to get started is to go down to the bottom right-hand corner and click on this button which has S on it. When you do that, the linear sequence now appears above the structure, colored again with blue from the amino terminus to red being the carboxy terminus. And now you can just click on the residues that you want to highlight and change the view of. So for example, we'll take this residue here, this histidine at position, I think it's 40, and another histidine residue here at position 63. You see now how they're not visible, but you can see where they are based upon these little red squares that are present. So now you also notice on the right-hand side, there's another group of things we can select. This is our selection now. So whatever actions we perform on those things we've selected will only be restricted to those selections, not the protein as a whole. So if we want to change the view of those things, we go to S, Show, and for the sake of argument, we'll just change them to sticks, although you can see the other choices you have here, and I suggest that you play with them as well too. So we drag down to sticks, click on that, and now you see we've got the structures of those amino acid side chains, but only at that position, which is very handy because, of course, this allows you then to show the whole protein chain just as a simple ribbon structure, and then just selectively add the residues you happen to be interested in to that structure as well. When you want to label things, as long as we have these now selected, you go to the right-hand side again under L for Label, and one of the simplest ways of labeling is just to select by residue. So now you can see it's labeled them as His39 and His63. When you want to remove the selection, you go to the top right, hit Unpick, Deselect, and now you notice that those red squares have gone away. Now, you can save this as well too. If you've got a picture that you like and want to use for later purposes, you just go to the top to File, save session as, and then you just give it whatever name you want. And then when you open up that file in PyMOL, it would just show it the way you did. So you wouldn't have to go back from square one and start over with the structure that you got from PDB. You could just resume where you were with this. You don't lose any of the PDB information either. So just because things aren't shown on here doesn't mean that they're actually gone. You can always add things to it after. The other thing too is you might want to make an image, say to put into like a PowerPoint presentation or something like that. To get it looking really pretty, you do a few things. One is under under display, drag down to background, deselect opaque background. And what this will allow you to do is when you generate an image, it will give it like a transparent background, so it won't be black. It will just take on the color of whatever you put it into. Now the other thing you can do to make it look really nice is to go to the top right, select draw, and then select ray. What that will do is will shadow the structure so it looks actually rather nice. At this point you can save it as an image. Just drag down to save image as. It saves it as a PNG file, and you just give it a name that you want and put it where you can find it. Then if you open up something like PowerPoint, you can actually just put that structure into it. So just insert the picture from wherever it happens to be. And there you go. That way you have a nice picture that you can put into a presentation or a lab report or something like that. And if you're doing it for another course, so people will be really impressed that you can do this. Of course, I know that you can do it now, and hopefully do the same for whatever reports and things like that you have in my classes as well too. So that ends the first tutorial. And what I can do is that if people need more help and things like that, or want specific information on how to use PyMOL or the Protein Data Bank, just give me a call, talk to me after class, and I can make things like this that you can actually try using up for yourself. And I also urge you to play with these programs too to see what they can do for you, because the way you actually learn how to do these things is just to horse around with them.